Obamacare is dying right before our eyes. The Republicans won't have to repeal it. The thing is going to drop dead of its own weight. It's an amazing outcome. Doctors are opting out of it all over the place. The co-ops that was offered these plans for health insurance are going broke. Half of them have failed. The major insurance company, United Healthcare, announced that it's going to not participate in Obamacare in 2017. Insurance premiums are going up by 20 or 30% for the average consumer, and the deductibles have gone completely crazy. $6,000 and $7,000 and $8,000 deductibles before you can get any care at all. And as a result, the new enrollments that Obama had anticipated have failed to materialize, and in fact, there's some evidence that there will be no net increase in Obamacare participation this year and may, in fact, be a bit of a decrease. This is all because of the inherent flaws of the Obamacare system. The Obamacare system was based on the idea that you could exploit the young to subsidize the old. And by old, I don't mean over 65, I mean 50 to 65. And that you could overcharge one group of people to subsidize another. And further, because the special interests in the medical field were lined up all over the place trying to get into this bill, they required health insurance to cover everything. Psychiatrists, substance abuse, sex change operations, birth control, morning after abortions, a whole range of stuff. And as a result, the costs went crazy. And then when the premiums were too high and enrollment lagged, and they lowered the premiums, they had to raise the deductibles to a point where everybody can afford insurance, but nobody can use it because they can't come up with the deductibles. This is the case of a situation where the Republican Party won't get around to repealing this until after the 2016 election, and there'll be nothing left to repeal. It will simply be a dead duck lying on the middle of the floor. At the time Obamacare was passed, some of you may remember that I likened it to the National Recovery Administration, the NRA, which was the centerpiece of the New Deal. It was basically a thing where each industry would cooperate with each of the elements of the industry in violation of the antitrust laws, but they were suspended, to fix prices and fix wages. And the idea was to stop deflation, charge higher prices, pay higher wages, and get out of the Depression. And eventually was ruled unconstitutional. But before it was struck down by the court, it was struck down by reality. Nobody followed it, nobody used it, it didn't do any good, and everybody realized that this was a totally flawed, horrible program, and yet it was the domestic centerpiece of FDR's first-term agenda. This is very similar to what's happening to Obama now. Without the Republicans lifting a finger, this law is dying. And boy, it deserves to die. Thanks for watching.